Hey, what's up, YouTube? I am doing a pre-recorded video of some stuff that I have some questions about. I am doing a pre-recorded video because YouTube is still not letting me do live streams finally. When I go to click on live to do a live stream to see if it works, it says that I gotta have 50 subscribers. I'm almost there. Well, I have over 50 subscribers. I got like 52, 53 subscribers. So why is YouTube steady stopping me from being able to do live streaming? Finally, after getting 50 subscribers, over 50 subscribers, and I posted something about it on my YouTube channel, asking YouTube why are they still depriving me from being able to do live streaming. So, like I said, I got over 50 subscribers. Thank God, finally. And I still am waiting to be able to do my first live stream. So, but regardless of that stuff, my main reason why I'm on here is because when I had my July 16, 2025 hearing in front of the judge sat there and said that he was not happy and did not like the road that I was trying to go down with these cases, which to me I took very offensive. Now I feel like I'm not going to have a fair and impartial trial under my rights to fair and due process. So I dropped a video when I did the fingerprints because the judge ordered me on July 16, 2025 and told me that which was a Wednesday, told me that I had till Friday, which would have been the 18th of July, by 4:30 p.m. to go do my fingerprints, or I was going to face 93 days in jail, or I could stay in jail until my trial starts, and I would be fined $7,500. So I was forced to go do my fingerprints. I have a video, it's already on my YouTube channel, showing that I did the stuff. So I'm going to pause it for a second real quick. I'll be right back. So like I was saying, I did go do the fingerprints because I was forced to. Because from my understanding under my constitutional rights, my Fourth Amendment, by doing fingerprinting, when I have not been convicted, sentenced, or charged. Yes, I am being charged, but I have not been charged for anything. I was not arrested. I was not detained. I was not placed in handcuffs. I was not put in a cop car, and I was not taken to jail. Period. So, here, when I did the fingerprinting, I was going to do a FOIA request to request for the video footage inside the room where I was having my fingerprints done at, which I denied doing now because I have copies of my fingerprints that I'm going to show you guys. Not my actual fingerprints, but these papers right here is proof that I did my fingerprints. And I find it very, very, very funny how they have, where there's two spots, it says date of arrest and date of offense. They have the date of offense blank, which should have been 4/6/2025. But instead, they put it that I was date of arrest on 4/6/2025 when I was never arrested. And I'm going to show you guys so you can see it yourself. Date of arrest right there. So there goes to show proof that they tried saying that I was arrested on 4/6/2025 when I wasn't. Second thing, I waited the following week, which was this week, to see if I was going to hear anything from the public defender's office on regards of who my new attorney was. So, July 19th, I believe it was. I think it was like, yeah, the 19th, I think it was. I'd have 19th or something. It was right around the 19th, maybe the 20th, or even maybe the 21st. So one of those days. But since I did not get any type of phone call or email from the public defender's office whatsoever, I emailed them to find out what was going on. Because my understanding was, as I was waiting to find out, you know, if I was going to have a new court date or what, because I was waiting to find out who my new attorney was, because I had my old attorney, Zach Girth, removed and fired off of my case due to attorney-client privileges being broken. And I feel that he was working for the prosecutor in Isabella County and not representing me like he should. Because to this day, I still have not gotten discovery turned over. So, after I emailed them, I get a letter in the mail from the public defender's office, which they did email me the next day, I think it was. Like I said, I got the emails, but it's, you know, regardless of the dates and emails, I'm saying I did get an email from him. But then I got a letter in the mail from the public defender's office, which I find very, 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 very sketchy and very funny, because not one time was I told this by attorney Zach Girth, who was my lawyer, who was representing me, and was a court-appointed lawyer. Nor was I told this by the public defender's office at any time until I just got this letter in the mail. This letter right here states, your case has been reassigned to attorney Mr. Shirley, managed assigned counsel at this time. Says Mr. Shirley's office can be reached at blank number with any questions regarding your case. You should talk about your case only with your lawyer. If you are in jail, do not talk about your case over the telephone because calls are recorded. Anything you say over the phone or video monitors can be used against you. Do not write letters about the facts of your case because your mail will be opened and photocopied. Do not talk to other inmates about your case because they may become a witness against you by telling other people what you said. And this part right here is where I have not this part, sorry. And it says, do not talk to the police about your case or other investigations. You have a right to remain silent. Furthermore, you now have a lawyer. Tell the police to talk to your lawyer. But Zach Girth was my lawyer as well, who I just fired and had removed off of my case because he was not doing his job. And he wanted to sit there and say that it was because of professional reasons, which I would like to know what professional reasons. I want that question. I want that question asked, and I would like it answered. But this part right here is where I have the big problem at, because not one time was this told to me by my old attorney Zach Girth, nor was it told to me by the public defender's office of Isabella County. But now when I get this new lawyer, they want to say this in a letter to me. After I have already been exposing all the corruption, the officers coming by my home, which the judge says has nothing to do with the situation on April 6, 2025, which it does. because them officers would have never came by my home if it wouldn't have been for the April 6, 2025 situation. Unless they were illegally and unlawfully watching me. Because like I said, once again, I still have not got no answer on regards of why Sergeant Brad Feger, Officer Brad Feger, badge number 427, why did he already have a picture of me on his monitor screen in his patrol car before any contact was made between anybody? Also, there is no body cam, dash cam footage from the gas station, which is my son's work, to the mill ponds, where you see on the dash cam where there is 2 ponds where his dash cam all of a sudden kicks on. There is no footage from the gas station until his dash cam kicked on. But his body cam was also kicked on. But here I feel they are trying to silence me. It says right here, if you are not in jail, do not send emails, letters, or texts about your case because they can be used against you. This is the part where I have the big problem with, because why was this not said to me by Zach Girth, my old attorney, who I fired and removed? And why was this not said to me any other time by the public defender's office until now? They're saying do not post anything about your case to social media, including Facebook. Anything you say or write can be used against you. If you have any questions about your case, talk to your lawyer. Do not write letters directly to the judges. The judges will give a copy to the prosecutor, and it can hurt your case. If you have a letter for the judge, you should discuss the issue with your lawyer first, and if necessary, your lawyer can deliver the letter to the judge. This is sincerely, Thomas Joseph Hausman, the Isabella County Public Defender, who sent this letter to me. Why all of a sudden is this stuff being said to me when it was never, ever, 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 ever said at any other time, at any court proceedings, at any letters that's been mailed to me in the mail from the public defender's office, the courts, anything? Why all of a sudden, when I get a new lawyer, they are saying this stuff to me, telling me after I've done already posted all kinds of stuff here on YouTube and also on Facebook? I find that is very corrupt right there. They're trying to silence me. They're trying to deprive me of my rights. They're trying to stop me from being able to expose corruption in their systems, in their county, their jurisdictions, all that. The officers coming by my home, trying to harass and intimidate me, my son, my family, my kids' friends, has all kinds to do with the April 6, 2025 situation. Because why else would they be coming by my home? They have no other reason to come by my home. And in a CPS vehicle when my kids are over the age of 21, why are you coming by my home in a CPS vehicle? Sergeant Brad Feger, badge number 427. You're going to have to answer to that. So like I said, I am trying to get some answers on this because I have already called the new attorney. I had left a message on his voicemail with my number, email address, and I explained some stuff to him. I'm not going to say what I said to my attorney. So I am trying to get answers, since here I called him yesterday when I just found out that he was my attorney, this so-called new attorney. And here, I still have not gotten a response back from him either. So, I'm putting this out there. I'm not going to be silent. They're trying to silence me, and they're trying to stop me from exposing their corruption, their misconduct. And with the prosecutor, the lawyer, which I find this also really funny as well too. The prosecutor is representing the officer, not me. Mark Kowalski's not representing me. And I want to make that clear. I did do a live stream on Facebook because I thought that they were trying to give me, as my court-appointed lawyer, my new one, the prosecutor. Because I thought it was funny when I had my July 16th hearing, there was a blonde-headed lady that was inside the courtroom, but not Mark Kowalski. And Mark Kowalski is the prosecutor who I demanded to have an investigation to be done back in 2023 and 2024 due to conflict of interest, obstruction of justice, tampering with witnesses, all that stuff. I requested to speak to him one-on-one because I was representing myself on August 22nd. He was sitting in the courtroom in front of Judge Mark Duthie in the circuit court, the 21st Circuit Court, when he heard me tell the bailiff that I wanted to talk to him one-on-one because I was representing myself before I went in front of the judge. But that ain't got nothing to do with the situation I do now. Well, it does to an extent, because I feel like that's also conflict of interest. Because I demanded for an investigation to be done against him, the Isabella County 76th District Court, the court clerk, the judge, Molly Cazzarelli, the hearing officer in Lansing, which all this stuff is going to be exposed. When I start doing my live streams on YouTube, all this stuff is going to be exposed. I will be dropping audio recordings of the stuff. I have audio recordings, and they are going to get exposed. But I am doing this video right here, right now, because this is pertaining to the April 6, 2025 situation. So, from here on out, I am not going to do no more videos on regards of the April 6, 2025 situation and the officers coming by my home trying to intimidate me, my kids' friends, my family. And I have witnesses. I've already called the chief of police twice. The second time I left a message on his voicemail telling him that I wanted to file a complaint and was demanding for disciplinary actions to be done. And I'd left all my information for him to call me back on July 14th, 2025. And here it is, 9 days. And they said that he was going to be back this week. Officer Dispatch Dan said that the Chief Ames of the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe in Michigan would be back this week. Why have I not gotten a phone call back yet from the Chief of Police, Chief Ames, from the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe, on regards of my complaint towards these officers? Come tomorrow, I am going to be calling again to try to speak with him. And if I do not get to speak with him tomorrow, this will be my third time trying to call him. If I do not speak with him to be able to file my complaint against these officers for their misconduct, their illegal and unlawful things that they're doing on duty, off duty, I am, and I know I've said this before already, but this is where I'm drawing my line. This is not a threat. This ain't nothing. Because like I told the judge on the July 16th hearing, I told the judge, if I was to go to those law enforcement, police officers, sergeant, whatever they are, if I was to go to their house and go on their property, it would be trespassing on private property. Not only that, I would be in jail for it. I would be sitting in jail for trying to harass and intimidate law enforcement and law enforcement's family. But nothing is going to be done about them coming here to my home, on my property, which is private property, and I got witnesses. So, I will be glad to try to resolve this issues out of court, because I will be taking this to civil matters. I'm not making no threats or nothing like that, because I don't need to make threats. I'm all about actions. I back up what I say I'm going to do. So, like I said, I am going to call tomorrow and try to reach out to Chief of Police Ames of the Saginaw Indian Chippewa tribe to speak with him for the third time. He should be back, because they said he was going to be back this week. And I'm going to find out what the excuse is going to be this time. So, like I said, this is a pre-recorded video, you know. And here, like, they're not even giving me time to talk to my new attorney, go over discovery with him, or if I have any requests or anything like that I want my new attorney to request for. Like, they're not giving me no time for none of that. I haven't even been given access, because anytime my attorneys want to speak to a prosecutor or any of them pertaining to my cases under my constitutional rights, I have the rights to be there. I have the rights to be present on what is being said. They have not done none of that. Not one time. Not one time have they gave me they followed my constitutional rights and my judicial rights and my, rights to fair and due process. I am entitled to be present with my attorney when my attorney speaks to the prosecutor, the courts, whatever. I am allowed to be present. So are you guys. You guys so remember that. And I'm going to be breaking down a lot of stuff to you guys about the Michigan Code of Conduct and the rules of law and the Constitution on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be going deep into it, because there's so much stuff out here, man, that you guys, if I am going through all this corruption, illegal and unlawful stuff, being deprived of life, liberty, freedom, prosperity, medical care treatment, all that, just think about what all you guys are going through, and all your loved ones that are going through it, or your friends, or your associates, or your kids. I am here to fight and stand up against all of it. I will not be silenced. I will not be deprived of my constitutional rights. My rights to fair and due process. My rights to a fair and impartial judge, prosecutor, jury, all that. Here they have me set up for next week. 7 days. And I still have not talked to my new attorney about any of this stuff. They have me set up for trial conference next week on the 30th. When I haven't even went over nothing with my new attorney. And then they also got me already set up for a jury trial for August 12th at 9 a.m. It makes no sense. So please, can somebody help me out here? They're telling me, all this stuff that it's ordered, by the judgment entered in this case and surrendered to serve any sentence imposed. Do not leave the state of Michigan without permission of the courts. How can I leave the state of Michigan when I'm being deprived of everything because of the corruptions of the 76th District Court and the state of Michigan, Secretary of State Department, and Lansing, all of it. So how can I leave the state of Michigan? I can't even get somebody to bring me to court because of these officers coming by my home trying to intimidate and harass me, my kids, my family, and my kids' friends. I have nobody to help me anymore because of all this stuff, because of these officers. And that's why I'm demanding to speak to the chief of the police, if not tomorrow. If I do not get to speak with the chief of police tomorrow, I am calling the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the Internal Affairs to have something done about this, because I'm sick and tired of it. You want to try to hold me in contempt of court and all that stuff like that? I can't drive nowhere because of my vehicle. I cannot get my vehicle legal, nothing, because of all the stuff being taken away from me illegally and unlawfully by the Secretary of State Department and the courts due to your guys' errors, your guys' clerical system data errors, all that stuff. So explain something to me, man. Like, I really need some help out here, man, because I'm not getting nowhere. And I really am trying my hardest to find a really good civil lawyer who will take on a civil case and fight against these courts and fight against the state of Michigan, who will represent me. I don't care if it's through the ACLU, pro bono. I need a civil rights lawyer to help fight for me. So please, help. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, man. Hit the like button, all that stuff, man, please. And, I'm out. Peace, man. Love you guys.